Good morning, everybody. And this is your S&P 500 setups for today. Quite a big sell-off yesterday, and we have tagged a fairly strong level. And I'm just going to put two levels in here because I don't think it's quite over just yet. So this zone here between 51.73 and 51.96 is pretty much a very strong area of support. You can see we spent basically 2.5 weeks at this level. Or I suppose if we just worked out the days, be a week. But anyway, week 1, week 2, week 3. Before breaking through, drifted sideways, jumped up, and then had this big move down, bit of a consolidation, and a second move down. Is it over yet? Not entirely convinced. I think we need to get a little bit more structure here before we start saying that. Oscillators have eased off quite a bit. We do have diversions in play now from this swing low to the current swing low. So you can see price is low, price at the moment is higher, yet the oscillators are lower. They have separated quite nicely. So be very interesting just to see what's going to happen here. We do have a bit of an inside bar on the 8th hour, but from an 8-hour perspective, we are in a long-term trend. If I do that, that's the long-term trend. We can argue that we've broken through or that we are just hovering on the bottom of this trend line at the moment. So that is the bottom of the channel as well at the moment. So you are going to get bulls coming in here. We're going to look at this as an opportunity to buy. Could be some form of an ambush setting as well, looking for a move lower down. Now if you just drop down to the weekly, you will see that this massive move all the way through from October last year, it needs to come to an end sometime, but it is a strong trend to the upside. So I would be a little bit reluctant to just second guess this and assume that we are going to build a base here. So if we start dropping down below and come back and reject it, then there is weekly support, which is probably stronger, but that is far away. It's almost right down the bottom where we started this year at 48.20. Anyway, that's far away, so let's just get down to the levels we want to be paying attention to. So I think you need to keep this bottom trend line intact, keep it visible on your charts, because it'll give you a good indication of where we are and what price is doing. So again, on the 3-hour we have an inside bar, we have a follow through, and that follow through basically tried to break through the previous swing low there, and that is at 52.11 or 52.12 in actual fact. We've got a grouping here of the oscillators and a crossover, and we are heading up above the 20. So we're almost above the 20 at the moment. So that does indicate a potential move to the upside. Bear in mind that we are in between the moving averages here. We do have a crossover, so you need to pay attention to that. But let's just put this other level in here as well. This level at 52.20 is probably a much stronger potential rejection level. But you could see this as a double bottom as well. We know we've got some strong support here, strong diagonal support, strong horizontal support. So this is a big decision area that we have on the cards at the moment. Now looking at the hour, you can see we had this consolidation, wasn't really going anywhere. We did have the crossover, and as I said to you, I was much more prepared for a short higher up at this area here, which we did not get to, which was 52.53, 52.50. What we did do instead is sort of reject this swing high at 52.44. And we rejected it 3 times here, but with the oscillators grouped to the downside, definitely wasn't an opportunity in my eyes anyway, and missed out on the fairly big move. Hindsight being a perfect science, we had a strong move down, consolidation range, The higher probability trade when you're below the moving averages like this is a follow through. So you probably see it better on the 15 minutes. Below the moving averages, running sideways and then dropping down. You see there's no pullback to test. So it was a pure range break and acceleration to the downside. Right now, you can see how this trend line is playing a role. That's why I said keep it on your charts. You can see how we're above it and how we're tracking it. Now normally when we track it like this, it does tend to drop lower again. But I'm not going to take that guess. So what are we to do today? I'm not entirely comfortable just following through on shorts at the moment. This is a strong horizontal area of support. So I'm kind of more favoring a long, but I'm also very wary of the long. So I think for me, I'd want to get above 52.20, get above there, build a base, and then would start looking for the long back up into 52.44. So that's the first price for me. If we start dropping below 51.96, that's a different scenario completely. If you just go back to the 4 hour, you can see to drop below that is going to take something. But again, you're going to have an area of support a little bit lower at 51.73. So there would be a short there. I don't think I want to take a short from 52.20, not with this horizontal, this diagonal support here. So I'd rather see a drop below, probably hit 51.73, then come back and reject 51.96 or even higher up at 52.11, and then I would take that short, because that would indicate a break of the diagonal support, a retest, and then you'd be looking, I think first target's going to be this tail here, which would be 51.59. That's kind of the short story. Story to the upside is fairly interesting, because if we do get back above 52.20, as I said, that would give us a move above the moving averages. By then the 155 or 150 EMA should come down to test us, and it would give us a break of structure there, and then there's a fairly decent move. First target onto the pin bar on the left, which is here, and then second target a little bit higher. First target 52.37 and then 52.44. So yeah, there is merit for a move to both sides, diagonal support, but if you do break this on something like the 8-hour chart and get below this diagonal support on the 8-hour chart, then that would be a break of fairly solid structure to the left, and you've got a lot of structure lower down. Now the interesting point here is if you go to the daily, you've got lots of daily fractals, which would obviously be target areas, but this being a strong channel, as you can see on the daily, this weekly support all the way down here at 48.20 is what would make sense. But this trend is too strong. It's too strong for me to even consider shorting at this area. This is more a case of finding support, finding balance, finding structure, and then another attempt higher. So that's basically my outlook for today. Just be cautious, could ambush you. Nothing is impossible. I would be probably just watching the hour here, and you can see a break of 52.20 does set up a double bottom as well. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view for today. Be very careful. Don't just jump in for the sake of jumping in. It can go either way. And if it does break to the downside, it's going to be explosive. Hope that helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow morning. Cheers for now.